Hey guys, and welcome to a general overview of the Yak Track and what you should know to help you out.
First, let's briefly go over what Yak Track is all about in case you're new to it. Yak Track is an event that goes on for a little over a month. It occurs 4 times a year and you can earn rewards for completing specific tasks. You can pull up the task list by clicking on the Yak icon when the event is active. These tasks can be as vague as doing any kind of skilling, or as specific as telling you to craft dragonhide armor. Once you complete it, you can claim your reward, which is usually some kind of cosmetic, pet, or XP. We'll get more into the specifics on what kind of rewards you can get a bit later on.
Originally, it was difficult to buy supplies during the Yak Track because of the demand. But since this event is now happening 4 times a year, people tend to be more prepared, so it shouldn't be too much more expensive if you need to buy supplies during the event. Even though you won't know ahead of time when the next Yak Track will be, it's a good idea to keep stock of supplies you might gather while skilling. You can keep the fish you get for cooking tasks, stop up on ore for smelting tasks, and so on.
As you go through the Yak Track menu, you'll see that you can use skips for whatever task you want. Something to keep in mind is that these skips carry over to future Yak Track events, so there's no need to use them up right away. In fact, it's a good idea to save your skips and use them strategically since you won't have too many.
There are 2 types of tasks that are good to use your skips on in our personal opinion. One is to use them on expensive tasks. Skills that require you to buy lots of materials can get pretty pricey over time, so you can use those skips for that to help you save some money. Some examples where you want to use skips are tasks for herbalore, construction, and crafting. This would be especially good for Ironman to do since it can be hard to get materials that you need for those skills.
You may also want to save your skips for tasks that can take a long time to complete. Usually the earlier tasks you get can be completed pretty fast. As you get higher up though, the amount of things you need to do will increase as well. And if you have a high level on the skill you need to do, you'll have to work with higher level things. Not only will that make your progression slower in some cases, but it can make it expensive as well. Depending on what kind of task you have, completing it may take hours. Tasks involving woodcutting and summoning can take a while to finish if you're a high level in those skills.
But on the contrary, a task that has pickpocketing people may actually take longer for lower level than it does for higher levels, since higher levels can AFK pickpocket and priff.
Since the Yak Track lasts for over a month, you shouldn't struggle getting through all of the tasks no matter how slow it can be. I've definitely fully completed several Yak Tracks using as little as 1 skip, so it is doable. But if you don't want to spend a lot of time working on something you don't really want to do, save your skips for these kinds of tasks.
All in all, it's helpful to look through the whole task list ahead of time, that way you can get an idea of which tasks you want to skip and which ones you want to actually do. If you're starting off as a lower level player, choosing to save all your skips for later Yak Track events is a valid option, since the low level skills can be completed fast and cheap. If you find yourself out of skips and you want more, you could always use bonds to get more.
So what's the point of going through Yak Track? Well, you can get some pretty nice looking cosmetic rewards as well as items you would normally get from Treasure Hunter. When it comes to cosmetics, you can get emotes, overrides for weapons and armor, animations for resting and teleports, and even pets. For Treasure Hunter items, you can get prismatic stars, lamps, cash bags, silver hawk down, pulse cores, protein packs, oddments, and more. Although, if you're playing on Ironman, you will only get the cosmetic rewards. And free to play will not get members rewards like the large prismatic lamps and silver hawk down.
When looking at the rewards, you can see that there are 2 different sections. That's because one is the normal path and the other is the premier path. If you're on a free to play account or a normal members account, you get access to the normal rewards. But if you're a member of the Premier Club, then you can also get Premier rewards in addition to the normal rewards. You can also use 2 bonds to unlock the Premier rewards if you're not part of the Premier Club.
So are the Premier rewards worth it? Well, if you already have a Premier Club, then those rewards are a nice bonus. But if you're thinking about using bonds to unlock the rewards, it just comes down to personal preference. To me, I don't feel like the XP and the Treasure Hunter rewards are worth the extra cost, but if you're somebody who likes cosmetics a lot, it might be worth using 2 bonds to unlock the whole Premier path. If you've already completed several tasks and choose to unlock the Premier path later on, you will still get the Premier rewards for all of the tasks you completed in the current track, so you can take your time deciding. There are also a couple of cosmetics and pets that were from previous Yak Tracks that can currently be bought in the Oddman store. It's possible that some rewards on the current Yak Track will be put up in the store at some point, but there's no guarantee.
So cosmetics are the main reason to do Yak Track in my opinion, but I feel that there are some other unseen benefits to it as well. Because of all the different tasks you can do, this event gives a good chance to try a variety of activities. It can be easy to get burnt out doing some of the same things over and over again in Runescape, so I feel like this event is a nice way to branch out a bit and do new things that you haven't tried before. Yak Track can also give a little push to try and train new skills that you don't particularly like. As an example, I'm not really a big fan of rune crafting, and just by looking at your face right now, it looks like you aren't either. But this event convinces me to train it a little bit at a time so I don't neglect it as much.
Before we wrap this up, let's take a look at what kind of tasks you would typically be asked to complete and some tips to keep in mind. If you get woodcutting task and can access the Ark, going to an uncharted island with bamboo can be faster and more convenient than cutting yews or magic logs. Using divine locations is another good method until you reach the daily cap for it. This is mainly targeted for high-level players since the high-level trees can take a long time to chop.
When you need to scatter ashes or bury bones for prayer task, using a bone crusher or infernal urns will work, so you can fight a group of weak enemies that drop bones, or demons to easily complete that. A good example of this are the skeletons or spiders in the Lumbridge catacombs.
For mining tasks, any extra ore you get from stone spirits will count towards your progression, so bringing those along will make the task even faster.
If you get a minigame task, you need to get Thaler to progress, so it's faster to play the Spotlight minigame to get more Thaler faster.
When getting energy for divination, choose to convert all memories into energy to complete the task very quickly.
Even though you don't need to finish every task, if you make it to at least task 40, all of your tasks up to task 10 will automatically be 50% completed on the next Yak Track event.
This is a new feature that just got added in for the current Yak to Basic event, so it's unclear if they'll keep this up for future events, but it's something to keep in mind. And there you have everything you need to know about Yak Track. I'm curious to know if you always work to finish the whole thing every time, or just do some of them for rewards you care about, so let us know in the comments.
If you found this guide helpful, it would be great if you could leave a like and subscribe for more videos like this. We also stream over on Twitch all throughout the week, so check us out over there. We'd also like to give a special thanks to those on Patreon for the support that you've been showing us.
Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you later. Bye!